Hey, there's Bijal, and it's the approaching the end of the month. In fact, one more day left, and I thought I'd give you a update on our virtual assistant team. I have receiving a lot of questions this month on working with virtual assistants. So I thought I'd take a few minutes here, just kind of give you an update on how we've been growing this last month, and some tips on working with virtual assistants. So here's my team member just prepared the end of month report. So let me kind of give you an update on where we are as a team this month before I go into some tips and suggestions for working with the virtual assistant. And if you want to connect with us and see how we can help you, I'll tell you how we can do that too. All right, so team update. So we have a full-time client happiness and resource manager working with us now, and we call her the Charm virtual assistant, CHARM. So the client happiness and resource manager. Awesome to have a full-time person on the team now. We also have a team of 4 senior virtual assistants, all of whom got 10 years experience. So right now, the core team, management team, we have 5 VAs in total, all with 10 plus years of experience. They really help more with identifying and qualifying virtual assistants, making sure that they sign all the agreements and everything else, getting them ready to work with our VAs. And we have a team of 14 or 15 VAs right now, actually working with clients. Actually, it's 15 VAs working with clients on contracts right now, long-term contracts. Again, what we specialize in is more process-based outsourcing. We don't take on projects. That's not our specialty. We like the long-term work. And we've added to the team now 3 new agents, 2 available for full-time and 1 available for part-time. Again, we add VAs very slowly, a method based on current needs and trends. We search them out very carefully and identify their core skills. So here's some of the core skills that are available to you, because not all of the VAs have full-time work right now. So you can hire a VA for 1 to 8 hours per day right now. So everything from customer support, client services, coaching, admin. So if you're a business coach, connect with us. We can give some ideas of how to use a VA, support you with your business coaching. Lead generation, primarily on LinkedIn. Follow-up. So if you generate leads, who is doing the follow-up? That's our core competency, and where we start with almost every client. Why? Because we really focus on ROI. We want to make sure that if you're going to outsource to a VA, that ROI is something that we talk about very early on. How do you get a return on your investment? A lot of people will jump into outsourcing and give up because they're frustrated or they find it's a cost. And I would say that you got to prioritize how you use a virtual assistant to get the best return on your investment. Billing collection. So if you have someone to help you with billing, again, remember, imagine you just have someone just working 1 hour per day for you. What could they do to take something off your plate to give you that time back so you can focus on working on your business? Social media posts and management and data entry. Some of just skills that you might think about outsourcing right now. So let me 1 second. I'm just going to remove this LinkedIn thing here. All right. So let's talk about some of the things I've got down here. So ROI. So we mentioned ROI. So if you're going to work with a virtual assistant, I really want you to start thinking about ROI first, in terms of what is the return you're looking for from the VA. Is it time, or do you want to actually leverage a virtual assistant to generate more leads, more sales? Although it can also often seem like the same thing, being clear about the objective will help you decide what of the many things that can be outsourced do you start with. Typically speaking, because we work predominantly with small businesses, usually it's in the realm of lead generation of some sort. But a lot of our clients, 50% of our clients, are hiring VAs for things like client support, customer support, client services, to ensure that their business functions better, right? But again, are you looking for sales support? Are you looking for saving yourself time, or are you looking for kind of business improvements so that your business just kind of generally operates better. An audit. So one of the first things we do with our clients, we start with an audit of everything they do and figure out from that big list of stuff that they're doing, what can be outsourced. So we are available if you want to do an audit of your business and to see what aspects can be delegated out, then we can help you with that. Process outsourcing. So if you've ever heard me speak, I always lead with processes first. Even in our productivity group, I always ask the clients, what's the process that's going to make you money or generate the result? Once we know the process, then you can decide what aspects of that process do you have to delegate in terms of projects that have to be completed that will allow the process to run, and then who's the best person to help you with those projects. But ultimately, we want to get you running processes because that's what creates the results in your business. And then our core competency is follow-up. So if you're in business, you've got to have leads coming in. And who's following up those leads? How well are you following up with those leads? Again, that's our brand, is the follow-up aspect, because every business person has a component of follow-up, either pre-sales, post-sales, and that's where we start with most of our clients is in the follow-up. And especially if you're a solopreneur, professional, that's probably where we would start a conversation with you in terms of outsourcing that first. Even if you just have a very low lead flow, you got to have leads. If you're doing business, you got to have some number of leads coming in. Are you using a sales CRM? Are you logging into your sales CRM? Who is managing that for you? That's a conversation we'd like to have with you. Got a comment here. Let's see. Hey, Nobby, how are you doing, buddy? So one of my friends has also been in outsourcing as well, so he knows the trials and tribulations of working with virtual assistants. So let me tell you what we do and why we do it a little bit differently to what you may be used to. So the way the industry typically works is a company will hire virtual assistants, often squeezing them down to $3.50, $4 per hour, and then reselling them for higher price, anywhere from $12 to $15 per hour, and that's where they make their spread. They make the money in the spread. Also, yes, I'll definitely get in touch with you there, buddy. What we do is different. And what I found out is, when I first started working in this area, 2009, so just over 10 years ago, people were quite happy to pay those kind of prices. They just wanted to delegate the work out. But today, the consumer is a lot more aware of how much it costs to hire a VA, and I believe VAs deserve to get the best bang for the buck too, in terms of, hey, what's the going rate? And I don't see the need to squeeze them for a few dollars just to get them to work in centers if they don't have to, right? Now, there are times when you will want to work with a managed center, depending on your nature of your business. But a lot of times for solopreneurs, look, we're very price sensitive. I'm still a solopreneur at heart, even though we have a team of almost 15 people. But day to day, I'm at home in my office and pretty much working like a solopreneur with a team around me. So we are price sensitive. We don't need to spend 3 times the going rate if we can get it for $5 per hour. So how do we work that differently? So what I did is identified what are the pain points that people have working with virtual assistants. A lot of clients are not really clear about what to outsource. So that's the first thing we do. We always start with an audit. When a client comes to us with I'm not sure what to outsource type of approach. Usually within an hour, we can identify 1 or 2 core processes that we recommend that they start with. If the client does not have the process documented, we help with documenting that process. Often we'll have a library of processes we can pull from. But again, if you have to create something custom, we'll create a custom process. So that process is a starting point. Okay, so first we figure out what to outsource, but that process is the starting point. Once we document the process, we want to see what platforms or software are going to be required that allow the process to run. So process, platform, and then we look at the third one, which is professionals, i.e. the virtual assistants who will run that process, right? So following that kind of methodology, we can very quickly figure out the skill level we need. Typically speaking, $5 per hour is the going rate. And what we do is our clients pay us for the setup, helping them with the process and helping them find the right VA. And then they pay us very low monthly, what we call support fee, where for the first month, one of my senior virtual assistants will actually shadow the VA working with the client and make sure that any communication issues are addressed, any breakdowns are addressed. Again, this comes just from 10 years of working virtual assistants. We know what can go wrong, so we do our best to make sure that we bridge the gap as much as possible. Then after a month, the first month, then our clients pay us a low monthly fee, $79 per month for the first VA and $49 per month for every VA thereafter. Doesn't matter how many hours you have, whether you go from 1 hour to 10 hours, you're paying us basically almost like a membership fee for using that VA for as long as you have it. Why do we do that? What we found is look, sooner or later, if you're paying 12, 13, 14, 15 bucks an hour for a virtual assistant that is getting paid $4, $5 per hour somewhere else, sooner or later you're going to get smart. You're going to figure out, hey, you know what? Why am I paying 3 times the price? Either you're going to attempt to circumvent the company, it's just to try and save a few bucks, or you'll go elsewhere to find a VA. And we want to prevent that. We don't even stop our VAs working with other companies. In fact, we encourage it that, hey, if you can go find a client by yourself, please do that. So we empower our virtual assistants to actually go find their own clients. So we only charge the client who's working directly through us, who's getting our support for that. In fact, we've had clients who've hired a VA themselves and actually come to us and say, could I have you guys manage the VA because of your experience of working with VAs? So a very open, transparent book. Other things we do is a lot of centers encourage their VAs to lie literally about what they do, their true name. We don't do that. We actually want our clients to know the VAs directly. We put them in touch together, and we don't really have a concern of clients circumventing us because of the value that we provide and the open transparency that we have with the client. So a very different model, and it creates a more team experience. Everyone's very transparent about what they do, the hours they do. We create groups with ourselves, myself, the senior VAs, and even the client, and we track, and we look to see what can be done to optimize that relationship, optimize the work, and it creates a much more team experience that gets a better result for the client. So just some things that we do differently in followups.com. So if you are looking to hire a virtual assistant, and you want to just chat to us about how we can help you, please feel free to reach out to myself, and we'll see how we can best help you. And if you have any questions on working with virtual assistants that you want to run by me, please go ahead and post that in the comments. Send me a DM. Happy to answer you back and see how we can help you delegate that mundane, boring, repetitive work that we as entrepreneurs really hate to do, but virtual assistants love to do because they know it's providing a service to you as well. Again, we are not your choice for things like website design. I have some great references for you or referrals for you to do that, but that's not the kind of work we do. We don't do projects, we do processes, because we have a saying, it's projects cost you money, but processes make you money. All right, that's me for now. I'll give you another update in the coming weeks. Bye for now.